You're watching Ride Like a Local with Belt Drive Betty. Voted as Canada's most rider-friendly community of the 2016 riding season is Port Alberni, British Columbia, home to one of the longest-running toy runs in Canada, the Port Alberni Toy Run. Bordered on the east by the Beaufort Mountains and on the west by the Pacific Ocean, the Vancouver Island Riders' Paradise, Port Alberni, is Canada's most rider-friendly community. Visit www.portalberni.ca to find out more. I'm being joined right now by the treasurer of the Port Alberni Toy Run, Robin Klatt. Robin, tell me what it's like to be the treasurer of Canada's second oldest toy run.
Very, very busy. It's a year-round job. It's like this weekend is the big weekend, but I have to deal with the books all year long. So it's about a couple hours, 3 or 4 times a month.
No doubt. You guys raise an enormous amount of money that you send out and into all kinds of different activities throughout this area. Tell our audience a little bit about some of the things that you guys help out with.
The biggest place we support is Parks and Rec. And we do Winter Wonderland and Easter Bunny Express and a free swim at Halloween, and we do First Night, which involves free swim, free skate, free rollerblading, and the rollerblading we hold here at the Glenwood, and it's balloons and free hot dogs and free popcorn, and the kids have a lot of time. And then we donate to, our smallest people have been the 4-H club. We've even bought them new wheelbarrows and pitchforks. So we vary it to who we want to. Everyone gets a little piece of us.
It sounds like it. I was talking to one of your founding members. That was an interesting discussion to hear how a small handful of people got this idea back in the 80s.
Yes, yeah.
And moved forward. It's this exact same story from our toy run in Grand Prairie to the toy run in Vancouver. It just seems like half a dozen people got this idea, and they started in all these different little communities, all within 5 years of each other.
Yes, it seemed to be like I wasn't a member then. I've been a member now 23 years, so I'm about 10 years later, but I did volunteer. Like Greg and everybody, they were my friends.
Right.
But I was busy doing other things, so didn't become a member. But it just seemed that everyone got this idea, and we weren't really welcomed here. Like I think that was where everywhere is like, oh, you're bikers sort of thing. But when they started realizing how much we give back. And now when you ride into town and half the town's on the side of the road, it gets really emotional for us.
Yeah, because motorcyclists aren't always well received, are they?
No. There's bad images, and then there's the good images, and we had to fight the bad image. but it's now we're accepted in this town, welcomes us and is very, very generous in our donations and just everything that they help us out on this weekend. They're like, you go in and say, oh, we need, like Canadian Tire, we went there and said, well, we need a drill. And they said, well, what do you want? And we get this beautiful DeWalt, brand new impact drill and a 100-foot extension cord. And so it's just, this town is very, very generous to us.
That is wonderful to hear. Do you think that has something to do with why you guys won Canada's Most Rider-Friendly Community Contest?
I think it does. It does. Because you go any place here in town and they'll say Port Alberni Toy Run, and there's never a bad name to us. So everyone's very welcome here.
When we come back, we're going to meet some more volunteers. This is a good story, folks. Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, home to the Cabot Trail and the Cape Breton Bike Rally. With some of the most magnificent riding and the friendliest of people one can find anywhere, Cape Breton is the runner-up community in Canada's Most Rider-Friendly Community Contest. Visit CapeBretonBikeRally.com to find out why. I'm being joined right now by First Vice Chair of the Port Alberni Toy Run, Tom Wall. Tom, how long have you been riding?
I started riding when I was 14, before I was even legal to ride, and I'm 69 now, so you do the math.
That's a little bit of a length of time. Tell me, in all that amount of time, what kind of change have you seen happen in this toy run?
This toy run, I've been involved with this now for 30 years, 29 to 30 years. I can't remember exactly, long time. And I don't know necessarily about change. We've all grown very old here. We've changed in the fact that a lot of the stuff now we don't do ourselves. We don't build our own beer gardens. We have that brought in and done for us. It was just getting too dangerous for us old ones to be climbing around up there on building this stuff. So we now rent a big tent here. That's unfortunately added to our expenses for putting this event on, but it's also made it a lot safer. And change factors, we have basically a dedicated amount of riders that come here, rain or shine, and they support us immensely. And I hate to say it, but a lot of them are Harley riders that don't generally ride in the rain with their bikes, but they will ride toy run in the rain because this is their last event of the year. And I've known these men ever since I've been involved in toy run, and they're still coming here. They're my age, and they're still coming here and supporting us. And they put their bikes away for the winter, and they've got all winter to clean and shine them up again. Mm-hmm. So the support that we generate here from the people, these same people, I see them year in and year out. They come to our event here. And that says something for what we do here, that we're doing something right to get these people that come, irregardless of the weather, they still come here and support us.
It says something about your organization, and I think it also says something about the cause itself, and that is the children of this region. And I think a lot of people, doesn't matter, male, female, what brand of bike you ride, our children are our future, and I think they all really understand that.
Oh, yes, most assuredly. Everything that we do here stays in our community. Nothing goes out of this regional area here. Our children here benefit immensely by what we do, and it makes me very proud to be a member of this organization. And I try and do the best that I can I've had people say, well, don't you have any other clothes but toy run clothes? Oh yeah, I do, but I'm 24/7. I represent Port Alberni Toy Run. I wear my t-shirts, I wear my hats, and I represent Toy Run in this community and outside the community. Anywhere I go, I represent Toy Run here. And I try and emulate that no one is going to ever have any recourse to say, Tom Wall done such and such, which was a stupid thing to do. So there are a few members here, like myself, that we represent Toy Run all the time and to the best of our abilities, that no one can ever point a finger and say, we done something stupid on our bikes. It's not going to happen.
Every person that works for an organization like this has an aspect of the event that is important to them for one reason or another. Some people, it's the fact that their toy run supports pregnant and parenting teens, or it supports, big brothers, big sisters, the Salvation Army. Everyone has that one charity or cause that's really close to their heart. Which one is it for you?
For me now, it's the Breakfast Club here at the high school. There was a young lady there that was putting it on and organizing this Breakfast Club, and that's Melody Burton, and it turned out she happened to be my cousin. And I didn't know she was my cousin, but she is my cousin. And she come to me with, or actually to my wife, when I didn't know she was my cousin, and saying, that would Toy Run be interested in sponsoring and donating some funds to help set up this Breakfast Club. So then my wife came to me and said, do you think Toy Run would be interested in helping with the Breakfast Club? And at the high school, and I said, yeah, that falls right into our mandate. And unfortunately for these high school kids, they're the ones that are falling through the cracks, that don't get help and support. And since Toy Run has been helping and supporting this, our graduation rates are amongst the highest in the province because of this Breakfast Club that's going on here at this high school.
What do you think it is about kids getting a hot meal or a good meal before school that makes them want to stay in school?
Sometimes this is the only meal that these kids have. A lot of them are couch surfing. They don't even have a place that they can call home. So then it's gives them something to look forward to every day, which they didn't have before. They're sitting there with their tummy growling, no food in it, no thought of where they can get food, because maybe the people that they're staying with don't have any food either. They let them stay there, but there's no extra food to feed an extra kid. And also then, when goes right down to when tests are being had, the week of tests, the Breakfast Club is there all day long. The kids can come as they need the food or want the food. They can come and get a bagel, sandwich, fruit. It's there available to them for the whole day. That then, you don't have kids acting out because they're hungry. You got kids that are being more model students because they're not worried about where the next meal is coming from. They know that the next morning food is going to be there available to them. So that's where my passion has been for this Breakfast Club, that these kids that normally would be falling through the cracks and not have nothing, they would have to be going steal something to go and try and sell to get something to eat. They don't have to do that now. They know at the school there's food there available to them. And it's not just food. We also have at holidays and 3-4 times a year we go and buy goodies, and we go with the Breakfast Club, Toy Run and the Breakfast Club. We go there and we go into every classroom and give each kid something. whether it's a sucker, a piece of fruit, but they can then put a face to what's happening. And it's not just for kids that don't have anything. Lots of their friends that do have follow them there, and they go, so these kids are not centered out. It's for anyone at that school can go there and have a bagel. They can grab an apple, they can grab an orange or a banana. It's all there available for them.
I think that's a pretty admirable thing to be doing, feeding our children, making sure that they get their educations under their belt, because that's huge. And couch surfing. Why do you think there are so many young people without a place to live?
Well, a lot of people, they want to start condemning these children for not having a place. Well, you can't condemn these children because lots of it comes with dysfunctional families. And myself, I don't care what these kids have done. They're going to school every day. They're trying to better themselves. And, well, this kid's been whatever. It doesn't matter. He's still going to school every day. He's still there. And if it's just because of the food, well, even that's great. But he's still in the school. He's still learning. So these are the ones that are going to be paying into our pension funds for us old timers. And if we can help them go to school and possibly, I know quite a few kids in town here because I've been in town here for 35 years. And since I've been in town, a lot of kids that I've known are now tradespeople that normally would have fallen through the cracks. Yeah. And here they are, they're electricians, they're plumbers, they're carpenters, they're cabinet makers. Where would they have been if someone hadn't taken a chance and given them a little bit of a hand up? And that's where, in this day and age, too many people are self-centered of me. Well, you got to look at the bigger picture. It's not just about me. It's about what we can do to help other people in this world that might not have quite as good a thing as what we personally have. So, and that goes for pretty well everyone. You got to take and step back and, okay, what can I do here? I can help someone, and it's not really costing me nothing but some time. So you help out and do what you can to make sure that someone less fortunate is going to have a little maybe easier time of it.
And that's called the Biker Way. And on that note, we'll be right back with another segment of Ride Like a Local. The Spark Business Incubator is located in 214 Place and run by Community Futures Grand Prairie and Region. It can provide a new or expanding business with the supports to be successful. www.gpsparkincubator.ca. I'm in Port Alberni, British Columbia, where we're getting ready for the Toy Run. Now, the Port Alberni Toy Run is pretty renowned in Western Canada, and I'm being joined right now by one of the founding members, Greg Philpott. Greg, tell me a little bit about what it was like 33 years ago when this first started, and then let's fast track it and compare it a little bit as far as the amount of preparation, the amount of things you do, and the amount of money you raise now compared to when you first started.
When it first started, it was the month of November, and there was actually snow on the side of the road. And there was only just a handful of guys who all had the right idea to get this started. And then the second year, we decided to create committees and went all hog wild on it, as you might say. Now we have a lot of good, hard-working members and volunteers that faithfully come out every year and help us assemble this with the support of all our city council, our people that live in Port Alberni, and all the riders all through the province and outside the province come to be here to see what it's all about.
You guys have had a high of about 1,460 riders. I know that this year you're kind of hoping with the nice weather forecast to hit that 1,500 mark. What's that going to feel like if you actually hit 1,500 riders?
Pretty crowded. And sorry for the wait on the highway, but it's all for the kids, and it's so exciting when you see that many people come out to support our cause and put smiles on the kids at Christmas and all the other functions that we support through the year.
Now, you guys do a lot of supporting of families. I was speaking with one of your other members, Tom, I believe is his name, and he briefly explained to me a number of things. Let's talk about a few of those organizations that this toy run actually supports.
Well, we support the Kids Center down just a few blocks away. They help us out with giving us a place to have our meetings and store our stuff. We help the Big Brothers, Big Sisters. We've helped the Boy Scouts help us at times, and just all the kids in general. We've put on a movie night, Starlight Outside, and we've do Christmas events and Winter Wonderland, Easter Express, and then the summer activities. We coincide with the Parks and Rec, and they certainly enjoy our funding so that we can put on all these events for the kids.
That's pretty impressive. So, tomorrow's the big day. We're sitting here. It's kind of like a calm before the storm. All the different volunteers off doing their jobs, getting different stations set up. When does everything get started tomorrow?
Well, pretty much a lot of people start arriving down at Little Qualicum Falls at 10 in the morning. We all offer them free coffee and donuts and some homemade baked goods. Not that many as we used to in the past. And then 12 o'clock sharp, we set off the Black Powder Club's cannon, and away we go. And we start heading west towards Port Alberni, along Cameron Lake and through the grove where we used to set up, but we outgrew that. And then we come into town with lines of people on either side of the road just cheering us on. And we parade through and we get up to the fairgrounds here at Glenwood Center. And we start, the kids start their game events inside the hall, and the adults and the kids, they all come out and watch the bike games be put on, and everybody's challenged with their riding skills, and it's all done safely, and then we proceed into town, and all the residents all are lining either side of the street cheering us on, which gives us a bit of a tear in the eye when you see the support that the people of Port Alberni give us. And then we arrive here, and the kids start their games inside the hall, and then the bike games, the adult bike games, start out outside. It's a challenge for the testing their skills and how they can make it go through the courses of the games. And the kids are welcome to watch. The adults have their refreshments, and we have vendors out here with their support. It makes part of the event that comes together, and people have things to do, And then we wrap the day up after that, and we clean things up and start getting ready for our dance at night. We put on 2 bands, and everybody has a good time. And after that, the next day, we put on a polka run, and there's always a pancake breakfast in the mornings that is included in your dance ticket. And then we all go on to a polka run. You pay $5 on a hand, and you just go through different courses and pick up poker cards. And then we arrive back here and we see who wins, and it's 50-50 for the money that's been raised. And then we have a auction here from all the gifts that we get from the local merchants, and we make quite a good money for the kids with their support. And then we just wrap it up and we all say goodbye, and
then start again on Monday for next year.
Then the next day we start cleaning up and putting things away and take a little time out for ourselves, and then we start again.
It's a never-ending job running a toy run, trying to help children in a community, and pretty soon we're going to meet a couple more volunteers. So we'll be right back with another segment of Ride Like a Local. Community Futures Grand Prairie and Region can assist small business with financing, training, and advisory services. We're here to help small business in rural Alberta. We're in Port Alberni, BC for the Port Alberni Toy Run. And right now we're sitting looking at a sea of some 800 motorcycles or so that have already gathered here. And I'm being joined right now by the Sergeant of Arms for the Veterans Paratroopers MC, Ben Boudreau. Ben, tell me a little bit about why you and your group came out en masse.
Well, every year we come here to support the Port Alberni Toy Run. It's a great event. A lot of people come here and participate and donate, and it's all for the kids. Tons of support. There's tons of local along the ride that waves at us, and everybody's happy, everybody's smiling, so it's a lot of fun to come here.
So tell me a little bit about what you know about the Port Alberni Toy Run and what it does to support the kids in this valley.
Well, they have a long history, over 28 years, I believe. 33 this year. So they have a long history of supporting the community. It's not only for the kids. Money goes to a lot of charity around the town, and so it's just an awesome event to support.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much for taking a few minutes to talk to me, Ben. It's so good to see you again.
Much appreciated. Thank you.